Well, guys, let's get right down to it. I don't even know why I wasted so much time on the NFC. We don't watch it here. We don't care. But for those of you who do, let's cover the NFC North first. In my personal opinion, I think the offensive improvements that they have made are enough to put the Bears, in my eyes, as the front runners to take that division away from Green Bay. It's going to be a big task, but I think what they've added, mainly on the coaching side, with Mark Trestman becoming the new offensive coordinator, who actually values his quarterback staying upright, I think that'll be enough for them to take it home. NFC South, after watching them play up close and personal against our boys in purple and black, I can't help but say that Atlanta ends up winning that division outright. Too talented on defense and offense, but Sean Payton is back in New Orleans, so that could bode well for those Saints. And let's not forget about Tampa. If they find the consistency, which they know they're capable of, that could be the dark horse coming out of that division. Now, AFC, let's take it around real quick. AFC West, Denver wins it hands down. Nobody else in that division can come close. If I had to pick a dark horse, I'd say it's Kansas City. Andy Reid's good. He's a football guru, and he's going to prove the world why he is just that. AFC North, we'll get to you guys in a minute. AFC East, New England. I mean, who else are you going to pick? The Jets? Please. AFC South, gotta go with our boys in Houston Texans. But don't be surprised if Indy manages to possibly sneak away with it. But you gotta go with the favorites until people can prove you wrong. And now that we have taken care of everything else, and without gilding the lily and any further ado, let's take it to the AFC East, boys and girls. The Browns, they're better, they're faster, they're still inexperienced though, and Brandon Whedon's their quarterback, so you can't exactly go too much, but the preseason has been impressive to watch. They will be improved, but still not enough to crawl out of the basement in this division. Pittsburgh, hopefully Big Ben's back. They lose Mike Wallace. They're going with a rookie who's injured. Le'Veon Bell looks like he could be good. Hopefully the foot does not require surgery. I still think they end up finishing third in this division, not because I'm a Ravens fan, because I'm a realist when it comes to evaluating football. And I think there are just still too many question marks. They got good at certain spots, but they're still too old. So just don't see them crawling up out of there. Now here comes the hard part, the coin toss, so to speak. Ravens lose so many personnel, so many tried and true veterans, and they replace them with, albeit younger, better, faster, stronger, Daft Punk's on. They replace them with a lot better talent. I don't know if it's going to be enough for this team to be able to win the division this year. They still make the playoffs, but after what I've seen in this preseason, I just don't think there's the chutzpah in this team and the coaching staff to get this young core group to gel together quick enough to keep up with the Cincinnati Bengals. The defense has always been their strength. They add more, better, strong, young, hungry guys to that front seven, which has already been a force to be reckoned with. I have to say, hands down, this year, I hate to do it because of my boys in purple and black, but I give the division to Cincinnati this year. As the football realist that I'm trying to be when I graduate, that's where my mind is. Ravens come in number 2 and they end up making the wild card, and you're going to see our boys have to go to the road again in order to have a chance to repeat as Super Bowl champs. But Cincinnati ends up winning. Now, while we're covering our boys in purple and black, let's get on track for today's game, because you'll all be seeing this today, even though it's not today yet. Denver versus Baltimore. I'm going to try to do things a little differently this year, as opposed to just running down it, offense, defense, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to try to do it a little bit more simplistic. We're going to do three-tier effect. 3 things to go right for us to win, 3 things to go wrong for us to lose. First off, 3 things to go wrong. Let's go with the negatives, get it done. we do not get to Peyton Manning. Manning, yes, granted, he's still the best in the game, or arguably one of the best in the game. Another year older, and I can't help but say I notice his decision making, while seem to be on point like he usually is. I don't know if it's a reaction time per se, but something about him this preseason looked a little bit slow. Now, the zip seems to be back on his passes, but if that decision-making even falters by a fraction of a second based on his knowledge and his timing routes that he has with his receivers, that could make for some interception possibilities. And if we get pressure with the new equipment that we do have, Chris Canty, Marcus Spears, Elvis Dumervil, a healthy Sizzle, feel as though that could be in our favor. But like I said, starting with the negative first, we don't get to Peyton, he will have all the time in the world to pick us apart. No matter how young, studly the defense can be, if we don't get pressure, they can't cover for 6 to 10 seconds. Number 2, young players becoming over-aggressive. The run game, I feel, will not be an issue for this defense, given the loaded gun of a front seven we have. But unless they set the perimeter early and often, I don't think they have the legs, so to speak, to stop the over-pursuit, especially when it comes to someone like Monty Ball and Hillman. Even if they decide to throw Holiday in there, that's on special teams more or less, though. The over-aggressive pursuit can be the biggest Achilles heel for any young linebacker. I'm running towards you. I try this way. Uh-oh, you juke me, but I'm still going here. You're gone for another 15, 20 yards. As long as they stay in their lanes and can contain and keep everything in front of them, that does not happen. The running game will be able to get loaded for Denver, and if that's the case, it's going to be a hellaciously long day. And number 3, Joe does not have the consistency with this new receiving threats that we have. You have Bolden, you had Jones, you had Smith, you had so many people you're familiar with, and in an offseason of turmoil, you lose Pitta in the first week of preseason. I mean, the freakiest injuries to possibly happen. So now you've got a new cavalcade of stars, Jones and Smith on the outside, but who's on the inside? Dallas Clark can run the slot, but still working timing with Joe. Stokes is back. Old guy, but still has the hands reliable enough for a slot receiver. Still working timing with Joe. Enter the rookies, Aaron Mellett, Marlon Brown. Explosive play-make ability, but unproven yet. It's still going to take some time for them to find their niche. They don't do it quickly, even without Champ Bailey and Von Miller and Elvis Dumervil. Thank you, boys. It's going to be a long day for this offense. Ray Rice can only do so much. We don't get the ball in the air early and often. It's going to be a hell of a long day. Now, for the 3 things that go right, we'll just pick right up where we left off. Number 1, Joe displays exactly what got him that big contract that so many fans out there are still questioning. Plain and simple, you can't argue with what he did in the playoffs. 11 touchdowns, no picks, quite possibly the best thing I've ever seen in regards to football play. Establishing that rapport, getting these guys that are inexperienced and developing that chemistry early is going to be the key here. Mellett, Smith, Jones, take them downfield. Marlon Brown seems to be that big, speedy body who could get some yak yardage after the catch. Get a couple big plays out of him, Joe will know, and everything clicks from that moment on. Number 2, the pass rush. Dumervil and Suggs, if they get crazy like you know they can, Peyton will not know what hit him. Dumervil's going to have a chance to taste blood of a different sort because he's playing the same stadium, just a different locker room. And I really feel as though the double team's going to go to one side, so it's going to be up to the other to be able to offset that. But let's not forget about Canty and Spears coming up the middle. Nada had the knee surgery, but he's back healthy. And this new cavalcade of linebackers we have. Arthur Brown, young fast missile. This kid could be the heir apparent we've been looking for so long. But let's not get carried away yet. If we do not get that pass rush we need, number 3 comes into play. Pass rush happens, Secondary takes care of business. Depending on Webb to cover Welker after a knee surgery, and putting the outside Jimmy Smith, who really hasn't done much to impress anybody, and Corey Graham. Very unproven secondary, and only having 4 there. The safety pool was deep. Elam, Huff, Ahitabo, very good, solid guys. Elam looks to be the real deal first-round pick that we got. So in order for them to have the game that you would like them to have against Decker or Welker and Demaryius Thomas, they are going to need the pass rush to step up. So that's what's going to happen, guys. And now my prediction, if the 3 things that go right, it's going to be one hell of a shootout in the Mile High City, and then I'll give our boys the edge, 38-31. But if it doesn't happen, defensively we can hold our own, but offense will not be enough. And I see Peyton and the boys in blue and orange taking care of business against us on opening night, 27-21. So our things go our way, 38-31. Things don't go right, 27-21. That being said, y'all, Mr. Voiceman coming back at you, and we'll have the post-game report hopefully sometime Friday or Saturday so you can see what I thought about everything. Keep watching, tell your friends, please give a like on the page, subscribe, do what you do on YouTube. Please, tell me what I can do better, and hopefully I can give you guys a shout out next week. Until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.